pudding snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Your anime admins are back for another episode of Spoiler Boys, and we are here right now to talk about Blue Lock the movie, episode Nagi. We went out as a family. We went to go see it together. Great time. I would say, as far as movies go, I was a little bit. It was more than what I was expecting. That's what I want to say. I expected it to be more so about pre-Blue Lock and kind of ending when Nagi first meets Isagi or whatever, and it ends up being an entire movie, just the first season cut down and told through the perspective of Nagi's eyes. Would that be, y'all agree that'd be a better assessment of what the movie was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got that, and then we got a little bit of a preview of Nagi and Rio meeting and how Nagi got into soccer, but a majority of it was season 1 from Nagi's perspective.
Right. All right, so before we start getting into the details, where do you all sit at right now, score 1 to 10? Know where you at?
I'm still at the same place, like a 7.5 out of 10, solid 7.5.
Okay. What about you, Gabby?
I'm probably sitting. I mean, I'm always really excited after seeing an anime movie, so it's always higher right after I see it. But I'm probably at a solid 8 right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting at the same point, about 8 o'clock. About 8, yeah. So, Noah, you gave this as a 7.5. What was your reason for you being the lowest one outside of me and Gabby with that rating?
I think that I gave it less points because nothing in the story. The story got all the points, but the story is what brings it up to a 7 because the story was good. I mean, it wasn't like breathtaking, but it was really good story. Made me feel emotions, all that good stuff. The production in the theater was good. But my issues, I had a couple issues, is that I think that they missed a lot of story points. Like, I think that the early story point was great, but once they got into the actual match, it felt really paced or like rushed. And then you're introduced to the other team, which, you know what I mean? It's reliant on the fact that you really have like all the information from the earlier seasons, which obviously it's a prequel, you should, but I just feel like it was like, from someone who hadn't seen Blue Lock in like a year going back in, it's like, okay, I don't feel like these characters have, I don't know, their relevance, because they gave all the relevance to Nagi and Rio, and then they beat them so badly and it kind of came out of nowhere for me. So I put it less for that. In addition to, I don't think that the animation was upgraded at all. Felt like just another episode. So as we stated, if I'm paying for something, and because at the end of the day, these movies are a cash grab. Anime movies weren't in theaters 10 years ago. So at the end of the day, it's a cash grab. I love it, but a result of the cash grab is us getting the stuff we love. So I think that if you're going to cash grab me, I'm down, but at least make it worth my time. And to be honest, I could have, if we didn't all go together and I knew it looked like that, I probably would have stayed home and seen it, you know?
Okay. What about you, Gabby? Do you feel the same way, or you feel different?
I definitely agree with the animation part of it. I think some parts, well, obviously, just beginning was new animation we hadn't seen, but it was really similar to the show. Certain parts I think were upgraded at certain scenes, but when, you know, the shots where we would go out and see all that CGI, like that was even kind of sometimes even worse than it was in the show. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, that's a little lame, because Blue Lock was so big, you would have expected something like that. It's not on the levels of like One Piece or like Naruto or something like that, but it's got huge. I would say it's close to Haikyuu, and Haikyuu was huge.
Yeah. It's the highest selling manga of 2023.
Yeah, so I mean, it should have had some more power behind it, but the animation did make it feel just like another episode. You did need a lot of background on some of the characters. They really didn't introduce. They could have added more story points on certain people. Like I know when we got out of the movies immediately, you know, when we were talking about Chigiri with his legs, they could have shown a short clip of like how he got there. It's like, because he wasn't immediately that fast.
Just a little bit.
All of a sudden he's going up against Zenitsu. It's like, well, why is this guy so fast? But you didn't show him kind of short clip, him struggling, and then a piece of him solving, and then him there. That could have been easy. You kind of did it with Isagi, which I know he's the main character, so he's going to get more.
Yeah.
But you could have done that short clip, because they did it with a few others as well.
Yeah, they did.
Little bits and pieces. could have been added to make it a little more, but
Yeah.
I actually agree with both of y'all. I do think animation quality wise, yes, Noah, this was pretty much copy and paste from what we've seen on the TV show. I did think the sound was a little bit higher quality for me, especially with those big shots. Like, it sounded real good. We were in a regular theater. It wasn't like we were in like a IMAX or Dolby Digital or anything like that. And those big shots sounded really good in there. And I don't know if it's just because sitting here listening to y'all, I get it now. But since I just literally came off of watching it before going into the movie, season 1, I can see, like, seeing it from Nagi's perspective, you're missing out on all these other important key elements with the other characters that could have had a lot more impact in the movie. But
that's what I'm saying. I don't think like they're really reliant on the fact that you still got everybody's right there in your heart, which you should. But that's why I wonder if this was supposed to be just like an episode they dropped, or like they eventually were like, all right, we got the funding for a movie. Let's just toss it in the theater.
This reminds me of what I've seen in One Piece before, where you have the episode of Ace, the episode of Sabo, and the episode of Nami.
Okay.
Those are like 1.5 hour specials that they just dropped. They weren't theater, but they just dropped. And that's what this reminds me of.
But today's day and age, they might be in the theater. The like episode of Ace.
That's true. Because these things came out when I was in college, so
right.
It's why they weren't in theaters. But
yeah. All right. So since we got that stuff out of the way, what were some of you all's favorite parts about the movie? About going back and learning about Nagi? Do you have anything that sticks out to either one of you all? I know one of the things I loved was seeing how bad he shut down King off the break. Because King was a threat in the show, and he's a big trash talker and give me the ball. I'm the one that's going to do everything. And we saw how bad Isagi and them struggled just trying to deal with King. And Nagi just comes in and just obliterates him off the jump. Like, you talking about no. I'm just way better than you. I love that moment. That one specific moment definitely that stuck out to me. Is anything that stuck out to you guys?
So not so much. Well, I mean, there was a little bit with Nagi. I liked seeing his build up to him wanting to actually do something in that game against Team Z, because that was really nice to see his thoughts in the moment. But also just the little backstories we got for Zenitsu. We don't really know much about him. His parents are dentists. I think that's kind of cool. His funny random quirks make more sense now. And then I think we all mentioned this, Rio. Getting the backstory on Rio made us realize, like, oh, he's not just an asshole like he is in the show. Like, you really don't.
We all came out liking him.
No one liked him.
Yeah.
And then this made me like him because now he's human, and the struggle between Nagi and Rio is really similar to Isagi and Bakira in a way, but they handle it better than Nagi and Rio did.
Now Nagi seems like the rude one.
Yes, now Nagi seems like the very rude one.
After seeing all that, I'm like, because we talked about that, y'all. We talked about how, like, at the end of the day, if you're moving up in life, you obviously can't just have someone, at your heels. And if you're a good friend, you can understand that. But my thing is he kind of brought him there and showed him what his love was. You can at least, go over and, hey, man.
That's why we were yelling at the screen when you had to walk away, when we were like, they should be saying this to each other instead of in their inner monologues.
Right.
Y'all standing right here. Just say, like, you brought me into this thing. I love soccer now. But if we're going to get better at this, these guys just beat us. So I'm going to go learn what I can from them and bring it back to you. Like,
or you meet me up there with another guy or something.
Yeah, they just need to have that dialogue.
Forced separation.
Yeah.
It was very forced.
Yeah.
Partially, I think, by Nagi's social interaction, because he doesn't really have any social.
Yeah, kind of I would agree with that, but it's just the fact that Rio's the only one who brings Nagi out of his shell. So it's like, if he's going to say anything to anyone, it would be Rio. But I agree, like, a lot of his social issues is why he ends up sounding like such a dickhead a lot of the time, because he doesn't know, like, good interactions or have good social cues.
And until they get in the Blue Lock, it seems like the only person he was around was Rio, and whoever else they played soccer with. Like, he just stayed to himself all the time. Yeah. So he gets there and has to deal with all these people with these high, intense personalities, and everybody's traveling to win. Yeah. Another moment I just thought of for me that I liked, when he figured out how he could get his game back if he got points, he actually wanted to try.
Oh, yeah.
I was what, 2 points to get my game system back? And just
okay, let me just do that.
Yeah.
Yep. They're definitely good at, like, drawing the hype. and stuff like that. I say they're one of the best still shot animes out there because they have so many stills as to where like you'll literally be like sitting there and it's like, here's a hype moment. We're going to change the screen, not show you any soccer, but here's some colorful purple coming up.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I mean, it's cool, but it's a little lazy. It's a little bit lazy, but it is cool. They're really good at bringing the hype in. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I could have made that animation in the Windows.
Oh, you want some purple lines?
Purple, like purple
TV some purple smoke, some black smoke here.
And it's like, and then there's a lot of stills, but even
scribble in the eyes and make them look crazy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's all you do is you should do the
scribble. Yeah, the scribble eyes. Yeah. So I also did like seeing that. What was that? The first competition we had to play tag, just like they did in the show, or whatever. But you saw it with Nagi's people or whatever having to play tag, and Nagi just. So if I just sit down, I get to leave this thing. Like, I don't have to like now that I'm here like participate. But knowing that Rio was going to come and pick up the ball, and like he's going to want to stick around and do it, so he's going to make sure we make it through this. That was cool. Had a lot of cool moments in it. A lot of cool moments. A lot of good story. I don't know, but we have to talk about this freaking end credit scene.
Oh
Did either one of you do research to see if that was true? If that's the actual team?
No.
Because they have two.
I'm going to say that was it.
Right.
Wait, there were two end credits?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
I think it was one that it was one that it faded out, and then it goes into that one with everybody, I believe. It was just one long one. Yeah. But point is, the next season, in season 2, they're supposed to be going up against the All-Star Youth Japan team. And Blue Lock is supposed to get their best 11 to go up against their best 11. If they win, Blue Lock doesn't get shut down. But we don't know who's on the team yet. They've had 7 teams that passed the last selection, and there were 5 people per team, which means everybody can't be on the 11.
Correct.
So we figure they're going to have a competition to see who makes the 11. Problem is, at the end of the movie, they show them getting ready to go onto the field against the all-youth team, All Japan, and we see everybody who's on the team already. So it's like, hold up, all these people apparently passed. Like, like we're sitting there yelling at the screen, like, spoiler alert or something, like, the season doesn't even come out until October, and yet you just hit us with this, where it seems like whatever the first half of season 2 of Blue Lock is going to be, it would be about that. But now we already know who's on the team after that. So,
like how am I going to watch season 2 now and be like, oh, I know that spiky-haired dude. We're just meeting, like actually being introduced to him for the first time. But I knew he was going to be in it. I mean, like you said earlier, Noah. Yeah, you would assume the main characters and probably these guys that stand out are going to be on it. Granted, a lot of guys do stand out in Blue Lock, which I appreciate because then it's kind of nice to guess. Mm-hmm. You can still obviously who stands out more, but it kind of ruined it and sucked.
I'm reading here that it says it technically has spoilers, but all it does is mention the existing of a U20 match, nothing about what happens in it or even the third selection. It does show the field, so I guess spoilers for who passed the third selection, even though Zentetsu is on the field for some reason. I don't recall him being a starter, but that's basically it.
Yeah, so it was a spoiler, pretty much, of who made it past the selection to get onto the team.
I think showing the field and stuff, that should have been fine, but you didn't need that locker room scene in there.
Yes. Having Nagi out there, really I would have mind Nagi. Yeah.
Yes.
And not seeing what it looks like Rio not being on the team. Like that's
or like a backup or something, which is fine. That still means like he's in the top.
But like
not, you would have been like, oh, I wish he would have been on the team because you want him to be with Nagi.
Yeah, because you expect the way they are sitting right now, not talking to each other, that they're gonna have to battle it out next season to see who gets on the team. But obviously, Nagi's the one that passed. It looks like so. Spoiler once again. I was a little bit hurt. by that.
Together.
Yeah.
But
I was a little hurt by that.
Sour end to the movie.
Yeah,
and it's just like with the CG and stuff. From what I've heard on like podcasts from Trash Taste and stuff, a lot of time they'll keep the same director, and the director has the overall control, and they'll have like a game plan for how they're going to do their animation. So if their animation style is to use CG in these points to save money or whatever, then they're going to continue doing that, except for very rare instances where movies get higher animation. And you can see that from series as they get more popular, and it's like, why are they using CG? One Piece had Kaido and Momonosuke looking like damn PS2 figures. So it's like, why does that happen? You know, it's because at the end of the day, it's the director's choice. And, you know, I mean, the director's choice may not align with the people trying to make all the money, which I don't really understand. But that's why I think at the end of the day, they were like, yo, we could make this a movie. And they just did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm with
I
you,
could see
Gabriel.
that.
Doing like an episode, like you said, like an episode Sabo, episode, you know, Ace, all that type of stuff. It
This could have been on.
Yeah.
They could have just released.
This could have been a special.
Yeah.
They
They were
Let's
like,
make it
Sony,
clear.
put us in
We
the theater.
enjoyed it, but it 1000% could have been the special. Yeah, you didn't have to.
If you like seeing movies, anime movies in the theater, I recommend going to see it. That's what I told everybody. I'm just giving my honest
The anime version of it could have been an email.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Like we said, it's pretty much season 1 supremely condensed down just through the perspective of, you know, Nagi. How we got
Which
the
is
Blue
very
Lock,
nice.
Yeah. So if you've seen it, you already kind of know, just so you know what you're getting into when you're going to see it. Like, you're just seeing everything that happened from his side. So, but it was really, really good and a really good outing. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up for Blue Lock. I'm not sure what the next movie is going to be. We're going to go see. We have to pay attention to the socials to see what's going to come out for us over here in the U.S. But whatever it is,
And is getting a movie for the Reese arc. It was announced about a year ago. Overlord's getting a movie.
How
They've
much
been
I pay
announcing.
attention.
Oh, no worry. Overlord's been getting a movie. They've been announcing 4 years, but this summer we're supposed to get a date. And then Imminence in the Shadow has a movie coming this summer as well.
This summer. Okay. Well,
or
you heard what he said. Apparently, we got to go see all of those and come back here and report to y'all whether they were good or not, so we can spoil it for you. But that's it for Blue Lock episode Nagi, the movie. Until next time, we will catch you guys later. Until then, deuces.
Peace.
Bye.
Loading snacks.